Hey everybody, Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you from the Bob Sosi studio deep in the bowels of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex with our preview of the Los Angeles Chargers New England Patriots game Sunday early. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our websites as well, winnersandwhiners.com, statsalt.com, and perhaps the most important part that I dig the most is leave me your comments. Tell us what you're playing on this game, on the other games, and tell us what you think of my pick. If you like it, if you hate it, and if you don't like it, tell us why. Because I always like to know. We always like to give everybody as many opinions as possible so they can draw their own best conclusion. So do that as well in the comment section. And after the next game, about an hour after the Philadelphia New Orleans game is over, don't forget we're having our very first drawing, our playoff drawing. Just kind of a way to say thank you for all of the support that you guys have been giving us here the last couple months. We're going to be drawing first prize, cool crisp $100 bill. That'll give you a free roll there if you know what I'm saying. Then we're also giving away some swag to the next four spots. So make sure you're registered. Stop by statsalt.com, winnersandwhiners.com, get registered, and make sure you check that out here later today or later on Sunday, whenever you happen to be watching this. All right, guys, so let's get to it, shall we? We got the Chargers visiting the Patriots. Patriots are 4-point favorite. Total net games 47.5. Chargers, their record is as follows: 13-4 straight up, 10-7 against the number, and the over has cashed 8 times in their 17 games. New England, on the other hand, 11-5 straight up. They are the number 2 seed there in the AFC, and they were 9-7 against the spread, while the over cashed just 5 times in their 16 contests. So it's this game. It seems like this has been kind of the forgotten game this week. We've heard about Mahomes versus Luck. We've heard about Gurley and the Rams and the greatest show on turf. We've heard about Drew Brees and St. Nick battling out there in the Big Easy. But it seems like we've kind of forgotten about old Tommy there, the GOAT, and, by the way, your current AFC champion. Let's take a look at the Patriots' down year, shall we? Like we said, they finished 11-5 on the season, yet at the end of the day, here we are. Patriots bye week, home field advantage, at least for the first round that they play, but they're doing their thing. And the other person that supposedly had a down year, Tom Brady. Another terrible year for Tom. How bad was it? Well, he just threw for 4,355 yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 passes. By the way, those are all top 10 marks. So no matter how far down he is at the age of 41, there's still 22 other quarterbacks in the NFL going, eesh, I wish we were that bad. I wish we sucked that badly as Mr. Brady does. So, but no question about it. His numbers are off. TD passes are down. Interceptions are up. And probably not trending in the right direction. His yards per attempt, they're right about where they are as far as his career marks go. However, if you watch Tom play this year, it doesn't really pass the eye test on some of your mid to high mid-range throws. Those passes 20 to 35 yards down the field, I think that's where Tom is really feeling the effects of the age. Father Time is undefeated. Tom says he wants to play till he's 45. Good luck, Tom. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Every year he tends to avoid that gigantic, huge hit that makes you change your mind. But he's Tom, and he's in the playoffs, and he can never be discounted. As we mentioned, Patriots were awful on the road this year. That's where they racked up all 5 of their losses, losing to a who's who of bad teams. They lost to Jacksonville, Miami, and they were also defeated by Matt Patricia and the Detroit Lions. So not a good look for the road Pats. But good news, Pats, at least for this week, you are home. And they were home this year, even against good teams. They were 3-1 against the spread this year against winning teams. So, how about those Chargers? How they been playing lately? Did you happen to catch that game last week? Bolts, they look pretty good. This is a defense, an entire team, but especially a defense that is absolutely on a mission. They held Baltimore to 284 yards total offense last week. However, 155 of those yards came in the fourth quarter, where San Diego had a double-digit lead and was playing soft, and a lot of it came in garbage time, so to speak, there last week. So kind of misleading, because for the other three quarters, that means they gave up 129 yards total. Not good. Now, of course, New England, you would never confuse them with Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, pretty much the anti-Tom Brady. But it does speak to the quality of that San Diego defense and the way they're playing right now. I'll tell you what, Ingram and Bosa, they are as good as any lineman in the game. The front seven of the Chargers had 7 sacks, and they constantly chased Lamar Jackson around all day, kept a spy on him, didn't let him get free very much for those big runs. On the offensive side of the ball, good news for the Chargers. They're getting the running backs back. Both Gordon and Eckler managed to stay off the injury report this week, and it looks like both the number 1 and number 2 back are going to be healthy and ready to rock and roll. So the Chargers, they've also got a little bit of motivation, some of it very real and touching, some of it maybe a little manufactured. First of all, they're playing the disrespect card. The NFL has made them play early road games 2 weeks in a row back on the East Coast. The Chargers feel like the NFL is tilted against them, trying to keep the Chargers out of their rightful spot in the Super Bowl. Is there anything to it? I don't know. I've certainly seen Roger Goodell and Roger Kraft breaking a lot of bread together. So, I'm not a conspiracy guy. Draw your own conclusions. The other piece motivating the Chargers, especially the brothers on the defensive line, is the tragic loss of a lineman, Brandon Meebane's infant daughter this week, as she was born premature and battled their hell of a fight, and ultimately was not able to pull through. And believe it or not, reports are that he's going to play this week. And, I know a lot of times people, we bet sports and we question somebody's heart, or you question their desire, but that's a different level, man. I've got kids, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. Can't even picture it. Can't even imagine doing anything like that. So, but all reports are that those guys have really closed ranks around him and have really rallied the troops, and that's a real deal, man. And I'll tell you what, even watching San Diego, I knew it. I knew I was going to do it. Even watching the Chargers play late in the season, starting with that game there in Kansas City, this looked like a team on a mission. There was a look in their eye, the swagger that they have, the way they play. I'll tell you what, as a Chiefs fans, and we make this before the game, if we happen to beat the Colts, I don't want to see the Chargers anywhere near Arrowhead Stadium. That's a team that scares me. So, maybe a little bit of a spoiler alert there, guys. As far as the numbers go, they kind of favor the Chargers. Rivers, he's 4-1 all time in the Eastern Time Zone. So that's why I'm calling this kind of a manufactured thing, because the Chargers actually do pretty well in this spot. Rivers is 4-1 in the playoffs, in the East against the spread. Since 2012, Rivers, he's 9-3 versus winning teams in the Eastern Time Zone. How good is that? It's the best mark of any team in the NFL. So, the Chargers had to play East, had to go and play in the East, but they look like they're well equipped for it. For only the third time in the Super Bowl era, a West Coast team has to travel to the East Coast for 2 playoff games in a row. How'd it go? Well, first time the Rams did it, and they ended up winning 2 games and going to the Super Bowl. The other time that it happened, the Chargers won their first game and then went to Miami and got spanked by Shula and the Dolphins. So for this one, we'll see what happens. We'll see if the Chargers can motivate themselves, maybe find some reason to win. These guys have no reason. I like the Chargers here, guys. I really do. I like the Chargers catching the 4. I know it's kind of a trendy dog, and I really kind of wanted to find reasons to back Tom, but I keep watching game film. I keep seeing that defense. I think it's going to be a long day for Captain Tom Terrific. I think he'll get a couple, But I think at the end of the day, the Chargers are going to have their way with them. Give me the Chargers plus the 4 points. I think you join me in that bet. At the end of this game, you'll be heading back to the window. Take care, everybody.